So guys, we are going to discuss about four new topics today. And these topics are, first we will discuss about web to lead, and then we'll discuss about assignment rules, then we'll discuss about reports and dashboards. Or you can say fourth one is dashboards, right? So we'll discuss about these four topics in detail. So first we'll discuss about web to lead. So what is a web to lead? Can you see my screen?
Yes, Pratik.
Okay. So first we'll discuss about web to lead. So what is a web to lead, guys? Web to lead is just to used to generate leads from outside of the Salesforce from another website or from another HTML website, right? So what we can do here is, let's say if you have a HTML website in which you are just displaying your information, or you are getting some information or inquiries from your customers, then you can just relate your Salesforce instance to that particular website page without doing much coding or without doing anything, right? Salesforce generally give you some kind of functionality in which you can just simply correlate, simply relate, or simply connect your web page directly with Salesforce, and all the inquiries will become a lead in Salesforce instance. So you can directly do that without much effort in Salesforce. So here, what you need to do here is, in order to do that, you just need to click on setup. As we need to get our quick find box, or here you can simply type web to lead. So like I did, I'm getting web to lead is, a simple link you can click. Here what you can do here is, you can see there is a button called create web to lead form. By just clicking on this particular button, uh, you will get this particular window. Here in the first section, what you need to do is, you need to select all the feed those you want to display on that particular web page, the inquiry page you are creating, right? And after clicking on submit, let's say if some customer is just providing information and then he is just clicking on submit button, then you want to redirect him into another page, that that URL you can simply give here. So I'm just giving google.com as an URL, so you can pass that as well. CAPTCHA we are not using, because we don't have any CAPTCHA information right now, so we are not using that, so you can just skip that. Return URL, you can simply pass. I'm just simply passing as google.com, and there is a button called generate. You can simply click on generate, and after clicking on generate, you can see it will generate some code for you. So what you can do here is, you can simply Control A and Control C. You can simply copy this code, and you can directly go to your notepad and paste this code. Here in this code, you can see there are a lot of HTML tags, and there are a lot of other information on the page, but the main information is this form tag is using this action method. So basically, this action method, we are just passing this particular URL. Even we are Salesforce is passing this information, as Salesforce have this web service listed there, and they are just submitting this form into this web service, so that they can create a lead into Salesforce. Method is equal to post. So post means like we are just posting some information on a particular web service. So we are just using this. You don't have to do much with this page. If you want some styling or some kind of formation, that you can use CSS, you can use on this page. Otherwise, everything will remain same. So you can simply save this page. Right now I'm saving this page on my desktop, but if you are just creating this for your website, so you can simply copy paste it into your website page and customize it accordingly. But as we all know that if we will save it as an .html extension, then it will become a web page and it will run as a web page. So I'm just saving it as a .html extension. So I'm saving it on desktop. Here is like, I'm using batch 91 web to lead, and just saving it to desktop, and just but we have saved it as an other extension. So let me just modify it as where it is, batch 91, right? This one. So I'm just rename it, or you can just do it .html, right? So what I did is I've just saved it as .html extension. So you can see this particular web page is created. If you will double click on this web page, it will open into your browser, right? So that's it. That's all we need to do here. And just I'm just clicking on finish now. So after clicking on finish, everything will be done. And you can simply go to lead and check. Let's say if I will select today's lead, there is no lead created today, so it will be blank. But if I will go minimize this window and will double click on this page, it will open this page. So these are the field we have selected in web to lead creation. So you can see all these fields are listed here, but without any formatting, any kind of designing anything, because we haven't used any kind of css here in this page. So you can go ahead and use your css whatever design you want. But right now what we can do here is we can fill these all these information and create a lead. So let's say I'm just giving some information. Let's say I'm just using from web to lead. Last time I'm just using test. Email I'm using this. Company I'm using, let's say McGraw Hill. City Noida, and let's say Delhi, right? So these are the information you can pass, and just click on submit. It will redirect you to on google.com, because the redirect URL we have selected as in google.com. So that is why it has redirected us on google.com page. Now that's it. You can simply go back and here just refresh it if we have the lead is created or not. So you can see here the one lead is automatically created. You didn't do any kind of integration or anything, but you can see this particular lead is created by default from this web page. So you can run this web page in from a different computer or from anywhere, and without any integration or anything, this particular all the information your customer will pass on this web page will become a lead on this in the Salesforce, right? So this is how you can create a web to lead form and generate lead into Salesforce. But you can see here these leads are directly assigned to system admin here. So I am the system admin. I am doing all these things. I have created the web to lead form. So you can see here Pratik Sharma is the owner of these lead. But if you want to assign these leads to a particular queue, let's say if you want eh, and every lead those are coming from that web to lead form should assign into a queue. So you can create a queue in the lead, and you just want to assign all the lead to that particular queue. So let's just create a queue here. Let me just quickly create a queue. You all are aware we have already discussed about the queue. Label I'm just giving as lead queue, right? And we are available object, we are only using lead for this particular thing, right? That's it. That's all we need to do. I'm just hitting save. Now, in order to assign all the lead to this particular lead queue, you have to create assignment rules, right? So for assignment rule, you just need to write here, and you will get all the assignment rules available. So lead assignment rule we need to create. I'm just clicking on this. So there is a default assignment rule. Standard is active, but if you will create your custom assignment rule, this particular standard assignment rule will become inactive, because at a time you can only have one active assignment rule. So I'm just clicking on new. I'm just creating my new assignment rule as test, and making it as an active, and just hitting save. And as soon as I have created this assignment rule test, you can see that standard assignment rule is inactive. So in Salesforce, at a time only one assignment rules can be active. So here you can see the test is active. If I'm clicking on test, here you can see you can create rule entries. Rule entry will define like this particular assignment rule will work on these kind of scenarios and what you want to do with this particular assignment rule. So I'm just clicking on new for rule entries. Here rule entries, first thing you will get is sort order. Sort order can create multiple conditions, multiple things with this assignment rule. As you are aware, we can only have one assignment rule active at a time, but you can create multiple conditions, multiple business logic here in a single assignment rule based on the sort order. Sort order means like which one will be evaluated first. You have to define here. So let's say I want this particular condition to be evaluated first. So I'm just clicking on here. So let's say if I want uh, let's say if lead city, what all are the fields we are using there? Let me just open that page and we'll see. So city we are using. Okay, cool. That's all. So if lead city equals to Noida, then this particular, all the leads in which we have lead city is equal to Noida, then those should be assigned to this particular queue that we have created. So I'm just selecting lead queue here. If you want to send an email, you can do that. Do not reassign honor. So you can also check that, then this particular option will be skipped. Now you can simply, uh, it's simply hit save, right? Right? So now we have created this assignment rule and it is active. Guys, can somebody again share the meeting URL on the group? Somebody is having some issues related to the password, the meeting password. Can you just reshare this? Harshit, can you do that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. So you can see here, we have created this assignment rule. Let's create right now, if you will select, right? So let me just select the lead queue again, and you won't find, you can see here the lead queue is available here. But if you will select the lead queue, there is no lead available here because it is not, we don't have any record in which we have city is equal to Noida after creating this assignment rule. So let's just create a new lead in which we will have the city is equal to Noida, and then we'll see. So I'm just again opening this form, just changing the name. I'm just giving name as assign, right? And test11. Email, I am using another email, gmail.com. Okay, cool. So company, you can, let's say select SCL. City, what we have done is city is equals to Noida, right? So let's just provide city as Noida, and then state, let's say UP, right? Same thing we have created with the lead assignment rule. I'm just doing the same. Let's hit the save button. It has redirected us on google.com. Now come back and just refresh if we are getting that. So you can see here this particular lead is assigned directly in this lead queue, right? So because we have city is equals to Noida, right? That is why we got the new lead directly in this lead queue. Okay, that is why we got this particular lead directly in the lead queue. But if you will create any lead in which we don't have city is equal to Noida, then that particular lead won't assign in this particular lead queue. And if you have any other condition, like if you just want to assign Delhi lead to Delhi queue, Noida lead to Noida queue, then you can simply create multiple rule entries for a single assignment rule. That, and based on the sorting error, it will evaluate and it will assign accordingly, right? So this is the basic formality, this basic formation of this particular assignment tool and web to lead thing. Any question on this you can ask. Any question, guys, till now?
सर वेब टू लीड मैंडेटरी फील्ड को बाईपास कर देता है.
No, you have to use mandatory field, right? Without using mandatory field, it will throw an error.
बट सर जैसे कंपनी इज मैंडेटरी फील्ड ओवर द लीड ऑब्जेक्ट.
Company, yes.
Yes, please try to create a one lead through the web to lead form without entering a value in the company field. The lead should be created without any
But
information.
yes, because it will pass that null value in there. But if you are not using that company field directly in the page, so
Hmm.
there are two things, right? If you are not using the field into the page, or if you are using the field into the page, right?
So I'm using the field.
Right. So just remove that field and try it. It will throw an error.
Okay.
Okay. Any other question from anybody? No, there are two object, right? You can create for lead and you can create for case, right? There are two options, Himanshi, uh, by which you can create lead and case, the web to lead and web to case. Same thing you can use with the web to case. So tomorrow we'll discuss about Service Cloud, then I will tell you regarding that web to case thing. Okay. Okay. So now what is our next topic is, our next topic is report. It is a very important topic actually for the admins, right? And for the business professionals like managers and all. So what is a report? Report is a, basically if you want to collect some data from the tables and you just want to show it based on your requirement. So you can create reports in Salesforce, right? So we have basically four type of reports in Salesforce. Let me just open all the reports. So we have, I will directly show you there, right? So reports you can directly create by clicking on this particular tab. If this tab is not visible in your screen, then you can directly customize it by clicking on say plus button and here customize my tabs. Excuse me. So by just clicking on customize my tab, you can simply, drag and drop this report and dashboard tab from here to here, or you can up and down whatever the visibility you need, right? So based on that, you can just customize it as I can see it in my screen. So I'm just clicking on this report tab. So basically after clicking on the report tab, you can see this particular screen will open. So here you can see these are the folders, and here you are getting two different buttons, the new report and news dashboard. Basically new report button is to create a new report, and new dashboard is to just create a new dashboard. Here you will get all the report and dashboard. So based on some filters, you can just customize this view. And here in the left corner, you can see here there are a lot of folders here, but folders will contain the reports you have created. So here in these folders, basically you have like different type of reports, like all the sales report you are customizing into sales report, and all the lead reports, support reports. So based on some kind of filter or some kind of requirement, you are just storing all these report into these folders. You can also create your new folders here. Let's say if you want to create reports for a particular logic, so you can create a new folder and you can save the report and give the access accordingly, right? So you can create different folders. After clicking on new report, you will get this particular report type option. So basically what is a report type? Report type will give you information like if you will select account and contact, then it will give you in all the fields related to account and contact to be selected into particular report, right? So here let's say we have different folders. So here this is the account and contact folder, in which you will get accounts, contact, accounts partner, account with all the related object, and this is for opportunity with all the related object. This is for customer support reports. This is for lead with all the related object, campaign activities, and why kind of, right? So you have different, these are the standard report types available. Report type is simply deciding like all the fields you will get in that particular report, right? The selected fields, the field in on which you can do reporting, right? So basically these report type will decide like which one you will get and which one not, right? So these are the standard report type. You can also create your custom report type. Though, let's say if something is not available here, let's say you want to generate a report with account and case. Account and case is not available here, so you can create a new custom report type in which you can choose account as a primary object and case as a secondary object. So in later of this class, we'll discuss about custom report type as well. So let's just first discuss about the report builder. So I'm just selecting one report type here. Let's say if I will select account, and you have to select at least one report type here just to create a report. So I'm just selecting account here and clicking on create. This will open a particular report builder, right? So this screen is called a report builder. in this screen, you can see there are three important sections. This is the left panel, this is the upper panel, and this is the preview section, right? So we have these three different sections of this report builder. So you can, in the left side, you can see all the fields are listed here. You can see field related to account, field related to contact, right? So basically we have not selected a contact, so it will only show the field related to account, right? So now these are the buttons. So if you want to just filter out these fields, so you can see if you are selecting all, then it will only show the all field. If you just want to do text field, if you just want all the text field, the data type is text, you can see after just clicking on this @ sign, you will get all the text fields in the account. And for number field, you can simply select this, and all the date field, you can select this. So basically you can filter out, and if you want all the fields again, then you can simply hit again all the fields, and you will get all the fields related, right? So this is our left panel. If you want to quick find it, you can also do the find as well here. So let's say name, so you can simply type name, and it will show all the field related to whatever the uh, characters you are just typing here. So it will just filter out based on these characters, right? So this is how you can use this left panel. And this is the important panel you can see here. So here we have a different options called filter, show, and date field, right? So what is filter? Filter is basically give you a lot of options. So let's say if you want to create a report and you want to just filter out that particular report with the particular field, then you can use field filter. After just clicking on field filter, it will add an action here, add an filter here like this. And if you want to just filter out based on some kind of criteria, let's say if you just want type equals to, so type is a picklist field, so type equals to prospect, then you can simply filter out all the account based on the type, right? And there is one more option called, let me just cancel it, right? That is filter logic. So if you have one or more filters, so you can just simply decide what all are the logic you want to add in those filters, like 1 and 2 and 3, or 1 and 2 or 3, or 1 or 3, that we have discussed in formula field section as well. So here you can decide. So let's say if I have added two or more filter here, so let's say account type I have added, account type equals to prospect, right? Okay. And I have added one more filter, let's say rating. Rating equals to, let's say, hot. So you can see here currently what we are getting is both these conditions. So data will be displayed in which we have both these condition equals to true, right? So you can see, but if we just want, like, we just want only one of these condition if is true, then we need to get the data. We want that either type equal to prospect, or rating is true, rating is hot, then we need that data. So what you can do here is you can add the filter logic here. In filter logic, simply it is showing as 1 and 2. This is by default. If you don't want 1 and 2, then you can simply put 1 and or. So what it will do here is it will consider or in both these conditions, in between both these conditions, right? So basically now it is showing either type is equal to prospect or rating equal to hot. It will show the data. So basically this particular thing will be used like this only. And the third one is cross filter. So basically it will generally use on the detailed, let's say on the relationship field. So if you just want account with the contact or any other information, account with cases, in which we have cases, we just want to show only those account in this particular record. So you can simply build cross object filters on this particular report. So it will only show you the account in which we have associated case, right? So in this particular cross filter, you can add that kind of filters. And here is a row limit. This is a very important thing basically. So row limit, basically it will decide like how many records you want to display. Let's say if you want top 5 account, 10 accounts, 20 accounts, right? So you can just simply decide how many simple records you want to display here. in this particular report, right? Maximum limit can be 99. So the maximum row limit can be only 99. So only 99 top records you can display. But in tabular report, we have a limitation of dashboard, like all the dashboard are not supported by tabular report. So if you can only create a dashboard with the tabular report if you have a row limit, right? So if you are creating a dashboard with any tabular report, you have to pass a row limit. So these are the options we are getting in the filter section. I'm just hitting cancel here. We'll discuss it one by one in every report type. So you can see here, so we have discussed all the options available, and then show. So it is basically giving you three options, or my accounts, my team accounts, all accounts. So my account will only display account in which I have access, and my team accounts will display the account in which I have access and my team has access, all those who are reporting to me, right? And all accounts will be selected. Let's say if it will give you information, all the account, doesn't matter who has access or not, right? And then the date field, so it will basically give you information about, like, if you just want the account for this particular current financial year, so you can select current financial year, previous financial year. If you just want to pass the custom date, or these particular things will simply give you a filter on the date field of the created date field of the account, right? So right now I'm just selecting all time. As we can see, there were no account related to that. Let's just remove these filters to get some data so that we can discuss the third part. So what I did is I have selected a date field as all time. So it will give um, all the accounts here in this preview section, irrespective to the created date. So let's just move it up slightly. So you can see here, this is a preview. So it might not have the exact data, but it will give you a preview related to uh, how your report will look like. So it will give you information about that. And the second option you can see here is tabular format, summary format, matrix, and join. So basically, guys, we have these four type of report that we can generate from Salesforce. So one is the tabular format. Tabular format will give you information into a tab in a table format, in which you will have columns, rows, like we have in a spreadsheet. So it can give you some information just like an Excel or a spreadsheet, right? And then the summary report will discuss in detail matrix and join report. So these are the four type of reports we can generate in Salesforce, right? And the third section is show all the details or not details. So it means, like, if you want to show the record or you just want to show the summarize field, so it will give you that information. Remove all column will remove all the default columns was added by Salesforce. So if I will hit this, it will remove all the columns from the report, and you can simply drag and drop the columns you want. So let's say I want account name, so you can drag and drop account name, type, and let's say I just want only these two fields, and let's say rating, right? So it will you can simply drag and drop those fields here. Remove all column, you don't have to remove them one by one, so you can simply hit remove all column, and it will remove it will give you a blank report, and you can just drag and drop the field you want, and you can generate the report. Save as, close will remain same. The meaning is same that we have in other things. Report properties, run report, so these are two are the disable. We'll discuss these things. So run report will basically give you uh, the idea, the exact report that we have created. So here you can see the run report section will give you the exact report thing that you have created. So here in this particular window, you will have the complete data that we have selected, and the filters we have selected, all the things you will get here, right? So here run report section, you can see here there are two options, run report now. So let's say if somebody has created some data after the report creation, so you can refresh your report and you can get exact the current data. So, and you can also schedule this report for future runs. So we'll discuss this part later on. So we'll discuss this part in detail. The schedule future runs will try to schedule some reports, and the hide details will hide all these rows and will give you only summary information like this, the 14 records or anything. Show details will again show the things. Customize will, after clicking on customize, will again take you on that report builder page. Save as, again, if you want to save this report, we'll discuss this save as. Printable view will give you a printable view of this report. So let's say if you want to print this report, so it will give you a printable view, right? So you can see here, yeah, you can see here we got the printable view, so you can directly print this report, right? So, and if you want to export details, so it will export in a CSV or Excel format, right? So let's say I want to just export it into a CSV format, you can directly go and export it, right? So here you can see we have exported this data here in this format, right? So basically these are the options available if you want to just simply generate this report, right? If you want to create a report. So let's just create some reports. So first we will discuss about the tabular report. So if, as I said, the customize will take you again to the report builder page. So I'm just hitting on customize, right? So here you can see that we have this kind of information. So we are using tabular reports. So let's just close this window and again start from the scratch and create a new tabular report. So what we have discussed currently is what is report type and what is a report builder, what all are the options available in a report builder, what all we can select, all this information we can simply use in order to create a report. So we have discussed all these things, right? So I'm just closing this report thing and we'll go back and create a new reports. Let's cancel it. Okay, so this is the section that we generally get after hitting on the report tab. So let's say just hitting on the report tab, you are getting this section. Now I'm just hitting new report section, and here, let's say I'm selecting opportunity, right? So it will give you a preview, how it will look like, how your report will look like based on the report type you have selected, right? So I'm just hitting create. After hitting on create, you will get a normal report, or you can say the default field, right? So if you will click on, now the report type the is selected as an tabular, right? If you want to remove all the columns, you can remove. Let's say remove all the columns. I just want the report to be created on some particular column. So let's say I just want to use name. So you can drag and drop opportunity name, and I just want stage. You can simply drag and drop stage, and let's say I just want amount. So you can simply drag and drop amount, right? And let's say close date. So you can also use close date. So these we haven't used the date field here. Close date is there, right? So these are the field we have used. So let's just add some more filter here. So let's say if you just want uh, the data in which the stage is equal to closed one, so you can simply add some filter here. So let's say add some filter here. Oh, and date range I'm selecting all time. So add a filter here, and you can select stage. You can type as well, stage, sorry, equals to closed one. So let's say your manager want all the opportunity till now we have closed as one, right? So the deal we have closed as one, right? So I'm just selecting the filter. So it will give you all the opportunities because we have selected as date range as all time. Also, it is showing all the opportunity, doesn't matter who has the access. And now we have created a filter called stage equals to close one. So you can see here, so we have all the opportunity in which we have the stage is equal to close one. So it is showing as 18 records. So let's just run this report to check the exact data. You can see here, yeah, 18 record was the correct one. So these are the opportunity in which we have the stage as in close one, right? So let's just go back and customize it again. So I just want only three opportunities, or you can also use these information. So I just want to summarize based on the amount. So you can see here it is only showing the grand total. It is not giving you any summary information. So I just want uh, the amount total here in the last, right? So you can simply click on this amount field and you can sort based on ascending, descending is by default. So it is not giving you group by this field if you want to group by this field. So we'll do that in the summary report. So not selecting that right now, limit rows by this field and summarize this field. So you can use summarize. So after just hitting the summarize, you can get these information, these functions, sum, average, max, min. So I'm just selecting sum, apply. So now we are just summarizing and you will get the total of the amount field. So based on that, this you can summarize this. You can also add the row limit here, because later on what we will do is uh, we'll create a report, we'll create a dashboard on this report. So that's why I'm just passing the row limit as a 99 and just hitting OK. Sorted by opportunity name, that's fine. Ascending, OK, that's okay. So we have added some row limit as well. So we have only 18 records, so it won't make any impact. So that's it. We have created this report as a tabular report. So now run report and save it. So we have ran this report. You can see the amount is summarized and it is giving you information here. So let's just save this report. After hitting the save, it will ask you the name. So I'm just giving tabular and report description. If you want to give some description just to identify this report, and I'm just selecting it my personal custom report because I don't want anybody to be anybody to access this report. So I'm just hitting this and just hitting save. So we have created this report and you can see here in my personal folder it is showing. So you can simply open this particular report by just clicking on this particular report, right? So by name you can get information here, right? So this is the tabular report we have created. The second thing is the second report type we are going to create a summary. So any question related to tabular report you can ask now. Anybody?
Pratik, like if there are more than 99 records, then what will happen?
So basically, if you are selecting the row limit, then it won't show, right? But if you are not selecting the row limit, it will show the all the records, right?
Okay.
If you want all the record to be displayed, then don't use that row limit. Row limit, if you want to create a dashboard with the tabular report, so it is compulsory to use the row limit. Otherwise, it will throw an error that row limit is missing. But if you don't want that, then you can skip that row limit. And let's say it is only used if you have a specific business logic, like you just want top 10 account to be displayed in that report, right? Based on amount or anything, right? So you can use that row limit.
Okay, and it is only important in tabular form, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
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 Okay, guys, as nobody has any question, I'm moving ahead to discuss the summary report, the another report type, and just hitting new report again and hitting opportunity, using opportunity, as we have a lot of data in opportunity object by default. So I'm using this one. So right now what we have discussed is related to a report builder, report type, and tabular report, right? So let's just discuss about summary report. So what is the difference first between tabular and a summary report? So what you have uh, got in a tabular reports, you just got the data based on some filter. So, and we have added the filter called closed one. All the opportunities in which we have stage is equal to closed one, right? So you only got the data in which we have stage closed one. So what if we want, right? If we want to get information related to, let's say, we need all the information related to closed one in combined and with other based on the other stage as well. So you just want to group the information based on a particular column or more than one column, right? So let's say I just want to group the information based on opportunity stage, just to get information like in which stage we have how many report opportunities, right? So that kind of thing we can create using summary report. So basically summary report, you can simply use a group by on rows, right? So you can group the rows based on a particular field, right? So let's just check how you can do that. So I'm just removing all the columns again, and here let's just drag and drop some columns. Name, and let's say stage, and what else, close date, amount. So let's say these four columns I want, and let's just select. I'm not adding any filter, so I'm just selecting all the opportunities, all these things, right? So let's just select a summary report. So as soon as you will convert this report into a summary report, it will give you an option to drop a field here to create a grouping. So you can group these information, these records with a particular column, right? So let's say I want just group this information based on the stage field. So what you can do here is you can simply drag and drop this stage field here, this section. As soon as you will drag and drop this field, it will group the data based on the stage. So you can see here the prospecting, we have 4 records. These 4 records are generally under coming into prospecting, and qualification we have only 1 record, need analysis 1 record, decision maker we have 2 records. These are the 2 records, and proposal price quote 1 record, and closed one we have 9 records. So this is how you can just customize this data, right? So basically what we did is we have grouped by this particular information based on stage, and it is showing group by. So let's just run report to just get a clear view of this. So you can see here, so we have grouped the complete opportunity data based on stages, right? So the prospect, qualification, these are the these are the field we have in opportunity stage pick list. So based on the opportunity stage pick list, it has grouped the data, right? So in this grouped data, you can see, you can easily identify how many opportunities you have in which is particular stage. So if you further want to group this particular information, you can also add more information. So let's say I just want, like, if we have some 4 records in prospecting, what is the close date, right? So based on the close date, I just want to group this data again, right? So you can simply drag and drop the close date here. So let's say I want to group this data further based on the close date, and you can see all the 4 record in the prospecting has the same close date called 5/2/2020, and here same. So you can see here, if you have different close date for different opportunity, it will further group that, like it did with this thing. You can see in closed one what we have. If we 21 January 2020 has 1 record, 24 January 2020 has 1 record, 28 January 2020 has 1 record. So this is how it has grouped. So basically first what we did is we have grouped the data based on stage, and secondly we have grouped the data based on close date. So this is how we have grouped the data, right? You can also add, you can simply select here, and you can also group the data further, like week, month, quarter, financial, fiscal year. So based on this you can also group the data. So let's say I just want fiscal year, right? So financial year 2020 has 4 records, so it will further group that particular field again, right? So this is how you can group. So you can see the financial year 2020 has 2 record in which in close date, right? So it will further group the data, right? So this is how you can group the data. And let me just show you name. It will also, so let's say I just want to summarize this field based on account as well. So you can also get the summarized information based on the account. So here all these 4 record has 0 amount, and in close date this 4 record has 0 amount. In qualification it has 15K. right? So it will also further summarized based on this information. Just run the report and you will get the complete information. You can see here, now we have just summarized this with the amount as well. So you can see the amount is summarized. Now you will get the prospecting. We have 5 record and the total amount is this, right? So here, this is how you can select, right? In this qualification, we have this record and this. So based on the financially, we can summarize this information, right? So again, go to customize. We have some more things to do. Here, if you will select on show, there is a conditional highlighting, right? So you can also conditionally highlight the information here. So if you will click on conditional highlight here, it will only show the field in which you have summarized, right? So we have only summarized the amount field, so it is only showing the amount field here. So it will give you 2 sections. So let's say I'm just passing 10K here and just 20K here. So what it will do, give you information. So what it will do, if you have the opportunity in which the amount is less than 10K, then it will give you, it will highlight that record with this color, and in between to 10K to 20K, it will highlight this color, and more than 20K, it will highlight with green color. So, and you can also change the color by just clicking on this, right? So you can also change that. So we can just do this conditional highlighting. So all the summarized field you can use in conditional highlighting. So I'm just clicking on OK. So you can see the less than 10K is in red, 10K, between the 10K to 20K, it is coming as an yellow, and more than 20K is coming as in green. So you can also conditionally highlight this information in a summary format. You can also add chart here, but we'll do that with the joint. Add chart will only give you some pictorial represented, a graphical representation of the data. So you can add that in a report as well. We'll discuss all the chart in dashboard. So you will get all the chart into dashboard components. So we'll create all the charts. You can also add them in a report, right? So this information is also coming. So we have created a summary report right now. So we have summarized it with amount, and we have grouped by this particular thing with the 2 fields called close date and the prospecting. So if you will hit the run report, you will get this information. You can see, right? So this is how you can do that. You can create a summary report, and almost 90% of your business logic will be covered by this summary report only, right? There are some other logics that you will covered that with the other report types, but 90% of your logic will be covered by this summary report only. Any question with related to summary report, I'm saving it.
Pratik, I have a question.
Yeah, please ask.
So in this, we got all the details, right? We are getting the data also, but what if we just need the count? We don't want granular details.
Yeah, you can simply click on hide details, right? See?
Okay.
Right?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Any other question, guys, or we will move ahead with the matrix report? I think no question. So what is our next report type is the matrix report. What is a matrix report, guys? So basically, what is a matrix? So you have already studied it in your academics. What is a matrix? Matrix is a combination of rows and columns, right? The same concept will be applied here. So let me just go again with the summary report, and so this is the data we have, right? So right now what we did is we have just grouped all the rows, right? The data we are getting, the rows we are getting after the filter, we have just grouped that with the stage and the close date, right? But right now, what amount filter is now summarized based on the rows. So you can see here is in the prospecting, we have only financial year 2020, and here in other thing, let's say in other uh, in other record we have the different close date, right? So I just want data to be grouped based on row as well as with the column. So let's say I just want this data to be grouped based on close date as a column. So here all the close dates should display, and it should show all the opportunity, and the data should also be grouped in based on the rows. So I just want to group this data based on rows as well as columns, right? Column will be grouped with close date, and the rows will again grouped with the stage and close date. Any question, guys? This is the difference between a summary report and a matrix report. Summary report, you can only group with the rows, but in matrix report, you can group with rows as well as with the columns. Any question? Or we can go ahead and create a matrix report here.
Yeah, we can go ahead.
Okay, cool. So here you can come and select matrix as a report type. So you can see here. So now close data also selected as an column. So financial year 2020 and 20 is the only financial year we have, right? That is why it is grouped with the financial year 2020, right? So if let me just change that. Let me just. Okay. So let's just change it to matrix report, and you can see here. So what I did is I have converted it into month. So January 2020, these are the things. February 2020, this is the amount, right? Right. March 2020, these all are the information we have, right? April 2020 and May 2020. And again, the rows are also defined as an based on the stage. So here you can see the prospecting. We have 4 opportunity, qualification, we have 1 opportunity. And in this qualification, you can see the close date is March 2020. So it is only showing in the section of March 2020. So based on so what we did is the rows are grouped by stage here, and the columns are grouped by close date here. In the last, you can see here in January 2020, we have this much amount. In March, this one, April, this one, and May, this one. So this is how you can just group your report based on rows and columns. So matrix report just give you a flexibility to just group your data based on row as column both. You can also again further create grouping here, right? Up to 4 level of grouping can be created into report, right? Any question, guys? I'm just saving this as a matrix report. You can also use conditional highlighting in summary and matrix as well, right? The last report type we have, the report format we have available is join report. So join report, what it can do is it can give you multiple sections of the report, multiple blocks of the report. So let's say what we did is the default block is called one block. This is the primary block. This is the primary block, and you can show some information. So let's say I'm just removing, let's just close and create another report. Right now we have matched up with the data. New report, and again you can select a report type here, create. Here, if you don't want these field, you can remove this field. I'm just using all these field, right? So here you can simply select join report. So you can see here in the first block, it is showing all these fields. So let's just remove some field. Lead source, expected revenue. Just let's remove this. Next step, probability, fiscal year, just remove it. Yes, let's remove this. Created date, probability. opportunity owner, account name, owner role. So let's say in first block, you just want to show this information, and you can opportunity block when you can add some filters. So here, let's say you just showing some all the opportunity, right? With uh, let's add some filter with stage because to close one. Okay. And here it will only show the opportunity close one. You can add one more block here. So let's say opportunity name, I'm just drag and drop here. As soon as you will drag and drop the field in the second section, it will give you another opportunity block. As soon as a new block will create, it will also add a filter block here as well. So you can also filter out your second block here. So let's say if you want stage field as well, so you can add stage field in this block. So this is how you can create. So the first block is has filtered by closed one. And let's say in second block, you just want to show all the opportunity. You don't want to make any filter. So you can just simply display all the opportunities. Current financial year, you can all select all time. Here also you can select all time. So based on whatever you are selecting above, it will display the data in the appropriate block. So if you are changing anything in the opportunity one block, it will make changes here. Otherwise it will, if you are changing anything in the opportunity block, it will make changes here. So you can create maximum 5 blocks like this. You can have 5 different opportunity report. You can also add a report type the related to the opportunity. Let's say if you want some contact information or you want some account information, so you can simply add a related block here, right? So this is how you can create a joint report. So joint report can give you multiple information into a single report, multiple in block information into a single report. So in a single report you can create maximum 5 blocks, and in all these 5 blocks you can customize it as a single report, right? So this is how you can create. And report types you can simply add. So let's say if you want opportunity with contact, so you can add opportunity with product or anything you can add as well, right? So like this. So you can add different record type as well. You can group these blocks with a single field. Let's say if I will drag and drop some field here, so it will group all these 3 blocks with that particular field, right? So this is how you can create join report. And join report is very useful if you want multiple type of information into a single report, right? Just hit run report to get access here, right? So you can see here the complete preview is available with all the reports available here, right? So guys, you can only create a dashboard with this report type, right? If you are using the opportunity and this, you have to add chart, right, in order to create a dashboard. So you have to create a chart on the joint report in order to create a report, right? Otherwise you won't be able to create a report on joint report. So these are the 4 type of reports we have. Let me just go ahead and save it. Close it. So guys, in the tabular report, we have added this remit. So in order to create a dashboard, you have to just for the tabular report, you have to also create some dashboard settings. So basically it will also customize this. So let's say I just want to, it will also group. So here you can read for tabular report that have a limit row count, choose a name and value to use in dashboard table and chart, right? So based on these fields, it will group the dashboard. It will create the grouping in the dashboard table. Show both name and value. Charts are grouped by name, right? So we have done this. So we have created all the four report type. Now the second option is how you can create a custom report type, right? So these are the four report type. These are the four report format we have created. Any question related to all these formats you can ask, otherwise we'll move ahead to create custom report type.
We can move ahead.
Okay, so let's just discuss what is a custom report type. Custom report type is basically, as we discussed, like after clicking on new report, if we are not getting any information, uh, any the information on which we want to create a report, then you can also create your custom report type so that you can create a report on that particular format. So right now these are the formats we have, right? So let's just create a custom report type, and you can also save that custom report type into your desired folder. So you are getting these some folders there, the standard report type folders. So you can also save your custom report type in these folders. So in order to create a report type, you can simply type report type here, the create report type. So I will ask you guys to just read it before you are creating any report type. It is recommended, just read that so you will get some idea. So we don't have any custom report type till now, so it is not showing any custom report type here, but you can create a new custom report type. And here it is asking for the primary object, the object on which you want to create the report type, right? So as we have discussed about account and cases, both are related things. So I'm just selecting account as the primary object, and the report type label, the label that will be visible there. So I'm just giving the label as account and account and case custom. I'm just giving name as custom so that you will easily recognize it. If you want to give any information in the description, I'm just giving the same. But if you want to give some more extra information related to this particular report type, you can do that. Store in a category. So it is now asking on which folder you want to store this information, on which folder you want to store this record type. So right now I'm just storing it again in the account and contact because it is related to account. So here in the deployment status, you can select like if you will select a deployed, then only you can use it. In development will recognize it as in the development in progress, so it won't allow you to use that report till the time you will select as deployed, and just hit next. Now it is, we have selected as primary object as account, and you can also select the secondary object till 4 level. I think you can select it, just Google it to check the how many levels we can select that is. So now what we can select here is cases. So I'm selecting cases. Now it is asking about the relationship. So read both these options carefully, then it will give you idea. So first the thing is each A record must have at least one related B record. So if we will select this particular first option, then it will only show the record in which we have cases. It will only display the account in the report in which we have associate cases, right? But if I will select the second option, then it will show A record may or may not have related B record. It will show all the accounts irrespective to if we have cases associated or not, right? So did you understand, guys? So if you will select the first one, it will only show the account in which we have associate case. Case is the child object of the account. So it will only show the account in which we have case, right? If there is no case associated to account, then it won't show in the report, right? But if you will select the second option, doesn't matter if a case is associated to the account or not, then it will show that account, right? So you can I'm just selecting the second option and hitting save. That's it, we have created this, right? So you can see here the first one is will give you the information about this report type definition. Second one will give you the information about the relationship. So we have account with cases, so it is with or without related record from the cases, right? The same thing we have created. Now we have this edit layout or the preview layout. So let's just click on the preview layout. So here what it will give you information about how many fields you will get on the report type to be selected in the report. So it will give you this information. So these are the fields from the account you can select in the report, and these are the fields from the cases you can select in the report, right? But if you will click on edit layout, you can also customize this layout. So you can see here, these are the field we have from the account, and these are the field we have from the cases. So you can see here is there are some legends here. Note in the page layout means this color, right? Let me just do it. So you can see the case name, account name in the case one is not selected here. So if you will select the case, it will not show the account name. So it is highlighted in into this, but you can also drag and drop it, right? Like this, right? And use in the page layout, this color, right? Selected by default, selected like this, right? And check, sorry, selected means like this one is selected. Account name we have selected. Checked by default, checked. This check information will come. Added via lookup, right? So these are the color combinations we have. So if you want to add some field, you can simply drag and drop that field and hit save. Then it will, that particular field will be added. So 64 selected field from account, 31 selected field from case. So you can use in that report type. So this report type is now created. So you can use this report type into reports. So let's go to report. Now you can see here new reports button. Let's just click on the new report button. So here we have saved that report type here in the account and contact section. So in the account and contact section, you can see here account and case custom. So this particular report type we have created. So you can use this report type here, create, and it will show all the fields you have selected. The first one, it will show all the account field, and the second one, it will show all the case field. So this is how you can create your custom report type, right? And use that, and you can now create the report based on this report type, right? Any question from anybody, guys? So this is the very important topic actually, report, dashboard, report type. Any question from anybody? Okay, cool guys. So now the next topic is how to schedule a report. So we will schedule a report. You can simply go to the main screen, the report screen. Let's open a report. Let's say just it is a tabular report. Here in this drop down, you can see. So what is a schedule report? So schedule report you can basically use. Let's say if your manager is asking some data on monthly basis. Let's say on the last day of the month, he just want all the information about all the opportunity we have for that particular month, or the amount information of all these opportunities. So he just want an email related to all the data at the end of the month, right? So you can schedule a report and it will run automatically in the background, and also email the data to all the users you are selecting, right? So you can simply click on schedule future run. Here it is asking the running user, guys. So running user means it will run based on this particular user. So if this particular user is deactivated, this report will not run. Also the data related to this particular user will only be accessible, right? Email report to me or to another. So if you want to email this report to other person, right? So you can also choose email ID to from the other person. If you want to email to yourself only, you can select to me and only. Schedule report daily, weekly, monthly. So let's say monthly, right? On day one, on day last, because you cannot select 31 because we have 30 and 28 days of month, right? So on last day of every month, right? Okay, and start date from today, and you want this report to be scheduled for next 2 years, right? So you can select this. If you have any preferred time, so let's say if you want to run this report into 2 a.m. in the morning, you can select that time as well, right? Save changes, discard report modification, save report modification with the schedule. So we are just saving these modifications. If somebody is modifying that report, so if those modifications will come in the next run or not. So if let's say the report is going to run in last day of the month. Before that day, if somebody is modifying that report, if those changes will be counted as a next schedule run or not. So you can just skip those things by just selecting discard, and if you are selecting just save button, then it will catch those changes and will run the report based on those changes, right? Save and report schedule. Now the report is scheduled and it will automatically run on its particular day. You can also see here this particular tab report is scheduled, so this right thing is coming here, and this is scheduled. Scheduled means it is scheduled. This particular report is scheduled. So this is how you can schedule the future run here. So this is all related to reports. Any question related to reports, or we are going ahead and moving to dashboard section?
We can move ahead.
Okay, cool. So now I'm just moving to the new dashboard section. So what is a dashboard? Dashboard is a pictorial representation of the data. So basically you can just create a pictorial representation. So here after clicking on the new dashboard button, you will redirect it on this particular page, and here you have different type of graphical representation. So here you have horizontal bar chart, you have vertical bar chart, you have line chart, you have pie chart, you have donut chart, you have funnel chart, you have scatter, you have gaze, you have metric, you have table or VF pages. You can also create a dashboard based on the VF pages. So VF we'll discuss in the development part, right? So these are the component type you can use. Here you have a data source as well, so you can use your reports directly into the dashboard, because dashboard is only a representation. You will need a data source to be show on these on the sections, right? So let's say I just want to create some kind of dashboards here. So let's say you can simply drag and drop your data source. You can maximum have a 20 dashes in a single dashboard with different data source. Okay, so I have drag and drop some data source. Now I'm going to component and will drag and drop different components with different reports. Right, so what we did is we have just drag and drop, and it has created some data. So this is the data we have created, and now you can see it is showing as an as in dashboards. So you can also do it narrow will give small it down, and wide if you want a wide kind of display, right? So this is how you can do this, and you can also customize the header. If you want to provide some header, you can do that. This is the delete button. You can also change some properties of the dashboards. So you can simply see here edit attributes. This is the very important part of the dashboard here. Here you can have this component data and the formatting data. In component data, you can simply define on x-axis what you want to display, and on the y-axis what you want to display, right? So based on that, you can simply identify. So right now it is automatically showing, right? On axis it is showing as a sum amount, right? So sum amount is showing right now, and the y-axis it will show the stages. Same thing we are showing, right? And you can also group it. If you want to further group it with the stage, close date, or anything, you can also further group it, right? Also combination of chart, you can also plot the chart if you want to do that. Let's say sum of amount is the only thing we have right now, because it is only the customized field we have. It is only the summarized field we have, right? You can also plotting it like this. Data will be visible here because we have plotting it with this sum of amount, and the data is also summarized with the sum of amount, so it is showing the same. And now display unit auto, if you want to display whole unit, hundreds, thousand, millions, billions, you can also, select that. Drill down, if you want to drill down with it with some filter source report. Let's say if you want to add some filter source report, you can filter source report or record detail page or other URL. You can also drill down it based on your requirement, right? So this is how you can select this data. You have these component data sections, and you can also sort by rows, descending, label descending, value descending, value ascending, right? So this is how you can select maximum values displayed, right? Axis range, automatic or manual. If you want to manually select it, you can manually select it from this to this, right? So let's say amount you want to select only 0 to 10,000, you can also select that range, and you automatic, it is only showing that automatic. Legend position, like these are the legends, right? If you want them to right, it you can also select them into right. And data labels, so chatter photos, so values, show details on hover. You will select the details hover. If somebody will hover on the detail, it will show values, right? This is how it will show the values. Show chatter photos if somebody has any photo on the chatter, so it will also show that, right? So you can also customize this kind of information here, and you can simply click OK. So we have just customized this information here, and here in this, let's say in this report, propertize it here. Label ascending component data. If you will go to component data, x-axis, y-axis, group by it, like we don't have anything. Let's say just do it with the amount. Stays, close date. If you want, if you don't want close date, stays, you can just also group it with close date as well. Group by it for the, let's say, close date. Right? Financial year in 2020, you can group it, right? And also plotting, you can add plotting here. Again, it is same sum of amount. Use a second axis. Second axis, we don't have any summarize field, but you can also use and the second field here in the second axis as well, right? So as we don't have, so it's sum of amount I have selected, so it is only showing the sum of amount here. Right? Display unit, we have already discussed it down, we have already discussed, right? So just clicking on OK, and you can see here it is a very good representation of the report it is showing, right? So this is how you can create this. We have view dashboard as Pratik Sharma. So now we have selected this. Run as a specified user, run as logged in user. These are the important things we have. So run as specified user, like if you want to run this dashboard based on some specific user, so the only record accessed by that particular user will be displayed in the dashboard. And run as logged in user, whoever will logged in to check that report, dashboard will be give that access to, will give the information based on that user only. So this is the information that you will get if you will hover it. Each logged in user sees the dashboard according to his or her own access level, right? So let's say if you will select it, so it will only show the records related to that particular user. Run as a specific user, let's say if you want to see all the records, so you can run that particular dashboard based on the administrator, and you will get all the information in a single dashboard only, right? So this is how you can do, right? You can also do some dynamic dashboard filter. You can also add some dynamic dashboard filters. In order to add some dynamic dashboard filter, so let's say you have 4 reportees and you just want information related to all the 4 reportees into a single dashboard. If you just want to check, and you can add a dynamic filter. So let's say you have different users, and based on every user you want to check the data, so you can add some dynamic filters. So let's say, no, it is not the, we need to go to dashboard properties, I think. Let's say owner. So we want to just filter it based on the owner, right? So account owner equals to, let's say I just want to select the record related to Pratik Sharma. If account related to Pratik, then it will show all the account, right? So again at the same time, if account related to test, then it will show, and if second user, so you can add these, so you can add these filters, right? Just to display the related data based on the user you have selected. So this is called as dynamic filtering. So I have just selected OK. Now just run the report, run the dashboard. Let's save it. My dashboard. So this is our dashboard we have created, but you can see there is a new dynamic filter available. So you can also, run or display the data based on the user. So let's say if I will select Pratik Sharma, so it will only display the account related to uh, in which I have the owner, in which Pratik Sharma is the owner. Let it just displayed all the things, all the components. Yes. So you can see, so it has displayed the data in which I am the owner. So we don't have any test user or anything or any owner. So let's just select test if we have any record in which test is the owner. Otherwise, it will give you a blank dashboard. No data we have with as an owner as test. So it is giving you a blank dashboard, right? Okay. One more thing, guys. Let's say you can also just customize this gaze chart. So let's just do that. So here you can just decide like what all are the cutoff can be. You can simply go here. So here you can see in the formatting, you can see minimum 0. So 0, and the range you can select. So let's say here it is showing as 1 and then 5, and then let's say 1000. If you want to just select 1000, remit must be ordered from low to high. Okay. Same thing I'm doing, right? Okay. That is why we have 2000 and we have 3000, right? So this is how you can select it. So 0 to 1000 will come in the red color, 1000 to 2000 will come in the yellow color, and 2000 to 3000 will come into the green color, right? So percentage or total, or it is up to you what you want to show. And okay, and just let's run this again. Let's save it. Go back to the dashboard. Let's select Pratik Sharma again. So here you don't have any opportunity, any account less than 1000. That is why it is all green, right? So you can also just customize it based on your requirement. So this is our dashboard for summary and metrics. So basically for metrics as well, you can simply create a similar type of dashboard. Any question till now, guys, or we can move ahead to for creating a tabular dashboard. Also, you will get a refresh button here. So as soon as you will refresh, it will fetch the current data and will display the component. If you are working on a production or a sandbox instance, right now we are not getting this scheduled refresh button. But if you are working not working in dev instance, or if you will work in your company, you will also get the scheduled refresh button as well, or you can schedule the refresh as well. So this is how you can create a dashboard for summary and matrix report, as we have already created tabular with the row limit. So we'll also be able to create some dashboard on tabular report as well. So you can come here in the dashboard, new dashboard. Now let's just select the data type, report type, sorry, tabular. Let's select tabular. You will see there are 3 or 4 dashboard type in which you will not be able to create tabular dashboard. Now it will start throwing an error. See? Not all the data types, all the dashboard types you can use in tabular report. So you can use these things, and as we have already selected the row type, row limit, and the dashboard settings we have used. So now it is summarizing based on the name and the amount. Name and the amount. So we have also summarized it based on our dashboard settings, right? So this is how you can create a tabular report as well, tabular dashboard as well. Any question till now? So this is all from this. So we have discussed about dashboard, dynamic filters, right? How to create a dashboard with the tabular. We have discussed all the report type, how to schedule a report, how we can create a custom report type. We have almost discussed everything related to dashboard and reports. So this is the information you will get to clear your 201 exam, the Salesforce admin exam, right? This is what you need, right? So you can do that, right? That's it, guys. If any question from today's class, you can ask. We have almost completed your Salesforce admin part, right? The Salesforce classic admin part. Tomorrow we'll discuss about the service cloud part. So that is the additional part I am teaching you. So we'll discuss some kind of all about what is our service cloud, and we'll discuss about Salesforce.com sites as well. And that's it. Tomorrow I will complete your Salesforce admin part. And next week we'll discuss about what is the difference between Salesforce Classic and Salesforce Lightning. What all are the features we are getting in Lightning but we don't have in Classic. So we'll compare both the things, and next week I will complete your complete Salesforce admin part, and after that we'll discuss the development part of Salesforce, right? So that's all we have in this admin part. Any question from anybody? Himanshi, sir, after removing the field, lead is created from web to lead, complete field. So is that field is Harshit, is that field is required?
So company field is required over the lead object.
I will check. I will check and let you know. There is no sense to create, right? It is a
Yes.
database level limitation, right? So there is something wrong with it. Can be only on your page layout, right?
Okay.
So just check if it is required on database level, because if it is only required on page layout, uh, workflow we have already discussed. Himanshi, process builder is pending. Process builder, as I have already told you, will discuss in the Lightning, because process builder is the part of Lightning. So we'll discuss that in the Lightning. I have already told you guys. Okay. Workflow we have already discussed. Okay. Harshit. So
Yes, sir.
it must be only on page layout, required only on page layout, right? So just check that, because if it is required in database level, then there is no chance to create a record.
Sir,
Okay.
I click on the create a lead with empty fields, all empty fields. Still, it's record created.
All empty field. So
Yes.
what is the information you are getting? Empty information.
Yes. Name is not provided. Company not provided. State provided.